Good afternoon, Dr. Gary here. We sell dental practices nationwide. We're dental practice brokers. Please give us a call. Today's topic is, how does the current economic environment with the inflation affect the sale of a dental practice? We'll get into that. As you know, we now have our presence in 27 states. We have 10 employees, and we've been at our business now for 12 years. And we're going to get into the main topic in a moment. So the information you're about to hear is for entertainment purposes only. It is not legal or business advice. Our phone number is 201-663-0935. And our website is dentalpracticebroker.com or dentalpracticeguide.com. Remember, if you're selling a big practice to a DSO, for example, we can assist you. And generally, there's no commission when we bring in a DSO. Also, certain circumstances under specific conditions, we can get your legal fees reimbursed at closing, 100% reimbursed at closing. So call us, we can talk about that. Anyway, so what's going on in the sale of dental practices right now? Well, as you know, we're in a rising interest environment. The rates used to be 3.25. They're now at 4.5. Eventually, they're going to go up to 5. So that's a huge increase. Just going from 3 to 4 is like a 25% increase. It's a lot of money. So the interest rates are going up, and that will affect some of the buyers. They have less affordability. Banks are still financing at 100%, and most buyers qualify that, but not every buyer. But now the interest rates are higher. So the maintenance cost to run a dental practice, to purchase a dental practice, the mortgage note is a higher mortgage note. So it's something for you to be aware of all the time. Now, we don't really notice a decrease in buyers at all. We do notice that buyers are focusing a lot on purchasing the real estate if the real estate's available. Not necessarily home offices. If it's a commercial building, it's one thing, or a self-standing building, but home offices are always a little bit of a challenge. But we're not noticing any more buyers coming to the market, nor new sellers, an increased amount. But we do a fair amount of marketing, so we do bring on a number of sellers. But it is something for you to be aware of, that there is an increase in the interest rate, which will, if anything, is going to affect the affordability of the dental practice. And therefore, it could change the minds of certain buyers, because the monthly costs are going up and their net profit is going to be affected with this. So keep an eye on that. The message to your sellers is you should sell it sooner rather than later, because we're in a rising interest environment. And the buyers, to keep your monthly mortgage lower, you should move forward with some level of speed. You're at about 4.5 now. There is one bank that's doing, I think, 2.99, but I'm sure that's only for a short period of time. And then there's other fees and everything involved. You may be back up to the 4 before you know it. But it is a rising interest environment, becomes less affordability. Banks are still doing 100%, but I'm sure they're scrutinizing a little bit more. So buyers should think, and we don't push, but now buyers should think about, purchasing rather than waiting. Because your interest rates have gone from 3.25 to 4 now. That's a 25% increase. So these are things you've got to take into consideration. Buyers should just try to see as many practices as you can, and whatever ones you are familiar with, every ones you're comfortable with, you should begin moving forward on the practice sale. And sellers, the same thing. Don't wait. Get things rolling. Now, also, the housing market is affected, despite what the government says. We're in a recession now. The housing market is affected. Outside of the dental offices, but it's affecting them too, I'm sure, because of the real estate. Everything from basically Texas to the west, certain spot areas are showing a decrease in values of real estate values. That's absolutely. However, East Coast appears to be somewhat stable and still increase in certain areas. But what's interesting, even though you may have a supply problem in the West Coast, there's not enough supply, you still have housing prices coming down and real estate prices coming down. And generally that doesn't happen, but it's happening now. You've got to study the reports and listen, but it's something to be aware of. So if you own real estate, commercial real estate, and those values are coming down, and the interest rate for the buyer is going up, you may want to start thinking about selling sooner rather than later. So the market will be affected. The dental practice market will be affected as time goes on. What happened in 2008 was they essentially almost stopped lending. A few banks lended all the way through, but everybody slowed down a bit. So could that happen again? There is those that say, and I'm not an expert, but those that are saying this turned down, this recession could turn into a depression. Hopefully not. But a lot of them say it will be a bad recession. If you study the housing market, you can see what's going on there. Of course, this could be a regional thing, but eventually affects everybody. So be aware of that. That is what's going on with your market now. Things are changing somewhat, but we still see a fair amount of buyers coming to the table, and we market and advertise a lot, so we find a good number of sellers that are out there. So on both buyer and seller, I think the opportunity is there to move on things because of rising interest rate, problems with house sales, which can, go throughout the community, permeate throughout the community. Just get on top of it. Don't wait. It makes no sense to wait. And the sellers are saying, well, just one more year, or I could make the same money if I wait a year and a half, 2 years. You might not be able to because of disability, etc. We've had too many people that got hurt. We just had a doctor that fell in the office and hit the shoulder on some kind of bracket table, something, and got down the radial plexus, got numbness in the hands. We don't know what's going to happen. So these things can happen. Anyway, so please give us a call if you'd like some guidance. We're not trying to be big salesmen, just telling you what the market is. Thank you for listening. Talk to you soon. Bye.